Something's seriously going on with Erika Kirk. For weeks, the internet's been obsessed with one question. Is Charlie Kirk's widow secretly dating Vice President JD Vance? It all started with a single hug. A hug that's been slowed down, zoomed in, and analyzed frame by frame like a Zapruder film. The body language, the touch, the whisper, every second of it has sparked millions of views and just as many opinions. And just when people thought it couldn't get any messier, boom, Erika finally responds. And instead of calming things down, what she says sends the internet into a frenzy all over again. Because she doesn't deny the rumors. She doesn't confirm them either. Instead, she flips the entire conversation, dragging in politics, grief, transparency, and even the media's obsession with her every move. So today, we're breaking down exactly what she said, how it connects to Charlie's death, why JD Vance is at the center of it all, and what Erika's response really means beneath the surface. This isn't just about a hug anymore. It's about power, optics, and the woman who's suddenly rewriting her own narrative in front of the entire world. It all began at a Turning Point USA event, one of those major conservative gatherings where cameras are everywhere and the energy feels like a political rock concert. Erika Kirk walked onto the stage to honor her late husband, Charlie, who had been killed earlier this year in what's now one of the most talked about tragedies in conservative America. She's dressed in black, elegant, confident, almost presidential. And then she introduces Vice President JD Vance. Her words hit differently. No one will ever replace my husband, but I do see some similarities of my husband in Vice President JD Vance. I do. Then came the hug. It wasn't the quick, good to see you kind of hug. It was long, tight, and intimate, the kind that makes an audience go silent for a moment. JD Vance puts his hands gently on her waist. She leans in close, resting her head near his neck. Within hours, that 6-second clip becomes the most replayed moment of the night. Twitter threads explode. TikToks are looping the hug with captions like, "Is this grief or chemistry?" People start drawing comparisons to Melania and Donald Trump, or even Meghan Markle, claiming Erika was rebranding through proximity to power. It wasn't just about a hug anymore. It was a spark that ignited a full-blown internet wildfire. Within 24 hours, the hug has been viewed over 30 million times across platforms. You've got body language experts on TikTok breaking it down like crime scene footage, slow motion edits, zoomed in hand placements, and even emotional resonance analysis. One viral post said, "Look at how she melts into him. That's not grief, that's intimacy." Meanwhile, Twitter users were going off, half calling it inappropriate, half defending her. "Let the woman live, she's been through hell," one post read. Another said, "It's been 2 months, not 2 years. That's not mourning, that's PR." And that's when the real chaos started, the rumors. People claimed Erika and JD had been spotted together multiple times before that event, at donor dinners, at private briefings, even in Washington. There's no evidence, no photos, just whispers. But the internet doesn't care. It loves whispers. It was the perfect storm. Grief, power, and speculation. And Erika Kirk was suddenly trending not as a widow, but as a potential headline romance story. By the end of that week, Erika's name is everywhere. Conservative commentators are split right down the middle. Some defended her, saying the online hate is cruel, that she's grieving in public and people need to back off. But others were ruthless. They said she's capitalizing on tragedy, that her speeches feel scripted, and that she's acting like a politician instead of a widow. The criticism got even worse when old clips resurfaced of Erika giving interviews about faith through suffering. People started comparing those calm, composed interviews to her new confident stage persona, calling it a brand pivot. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. She's not mourning, she's marketing. And whether that's true or not, that comment hit millions of impressions. Behind the scenes, Turning Point USA insiders reportedly started panicking, because this wasn't just gossip anymore. This was turning into a reputational crisis for Erika, for JD Vance, and even for the movement Charlie helped build. After almost 3 weeks of silence, Erika finally breaks her silence, and she does it in a way nobody expected. During an interview with Fox's Jesse Waters, she doesn't address the rumors directly. Instead, she turns the conversation toward the bigger picture. "There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered," she says. "There have been cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, my every smile, my every tear. We deserve to have cameras in there." And when she says there, she's talking about the courtroom, the trial for her husband's alleged killer. She continues, "Let everyone see what true evil is. This is something that could impact generations to come. It's a powerful moment." She doesn't deny the rumors, but she flips them, turning the conversation from who she's hugging to what she's fighting for. The interview immediately goes viral again, but this time for a different reason. The tone is calm, controlled, commanding, and people can't decide if that makes her authentic or calculating. The response online was split right down the middle. Some people praised her for not taking the bait, for staying composed, speaking with conviction, and using her platform for something serious. That's how you handle rumors. You rise above them. but others weren't buying it. She never denied anything, one tweet said. That was PR-level deflection. Another viral TikTok stitched the interview, saying, "Erika's using tragedy as strategy. She didn't shut down the story, she redirected it to get control." And that's exactly what makes Erika such a fascinating figure right now. She's not reacting emotionally like most people would. She's thinking 2 steps ahead. It's grief management, media management, and brand control, all in one. Even political podcasters started calling her the new conservative archetype. Part victim, part visionary, part symbol. Whether she's doing it intentionally or not, Erika Kirk is owning her narrative. Behind the scenes, things inside Turning Point America are reportedly tense. After Charlie's death, donors and board members moved fast to stabilize the organization. And Erika, who was already deeply involved, was quietly installed as CEO. It looked smooth from the outside, but insiders say not everyone was happy about how quickly it happened. Some believed she was being guided by political players who saw her as the perfect successor. Young, articulate, loyal to the cause, and photogenic. Now, with JD Vance appearing at her events, people started connecting dots that may or may not exist. Some think the hug wasn't romantic. It was political theater, a public show of alliance between Turning Point and the White House. But others believe there's more chemistry than coincidence. Because let's be real, that hug didn't look like politics. It looked personal. And that blurred line between faith, power, and optics is exactly what's fueling the online obsession. For the people who followed Charlie and Erika's story, this all feels surreal. Their love story was practically out of a Christian romance film. They met during a faith-based job interview, fell in love over theology, and built an empire rooted in conservative values. So watching Erika stand on stage just weeks after his death, smiling, confident, hugging another man, hit hard for a lot of people. It's not that they expected her to wear black forever, but the speed of her public reemergence shocked them. One fan commented, "She didn't look broken. She looked rehearsed." Others say that's unfair, that grief looks different for everyone, that maybe Erika's strength is her way of mourning. But it's this exact tension that's keeping her in the headlines. Every speech, every outfit, every appearance becomes another Rorschach test. People project what they want to see. Now, here's where things take a darker turn. Erika's husband, Charlie, was shot during a Q&A event in Utah. The suspect, Tyler Robinson, is currently awaiting trial. But according to Erika, there's a media blackout surrounding the case. Limited camera access, restricted coverage, and tight control of information. That's why her cameras everywhere line hit so hard. She's basically calling out the system, saying, "If I have to live under constant surveillance, why shouldn't the people responsible for my husband's death be seen too?" That statement transformed the narrative. Overnight, the hashtags shifted from gossip to justice. Let cameras in court and true evil trending alongside Erika Kirk. It was genius. By reframing her public image from grieving widow under fire to activist demanding transparency, she took back control of the story. Meanwhile, JD Vance has stayed completely silent on the rumors. No tweets, no press statements, nothing. Still, silence can look like guilt, at least online. Commenters are now convinced that his lack of denial means there is something going on. And the more they both stay quiet, the more the speculation grows. It's a classic modern PR paradox. The less you say, the louder the internet gets. Here's the thing about Erika Kirk. She's not naive. She knows how the media works, and she's turning it into an advantage. While everyone's talking about her, she's building a public platform that now extends far beyond Turning Point. She's launching initiatives, speaking at new events, appearing on podcasts, and using every moment to push her faith through adversity message. In short, she's rewriting her image in real time. And JD Vance, he benefits too. Standing beside Erika makes him look compassionate, steady, and connected to the emotional heart of the conservative movement. So even if nothing romantic is happening, the optics are working for both of them. It's a symbiotic scandal, a partnership of perception. There's one part of this story that gives it an even stranger edge. Charlie Kirk's parents. They haven't spoken publicly since his death. No interviews, no statements, no social media posts. And that silence has sparked its own wave of speculation. Some think they're staying quiet out of grief. Others think they're distancing themselves from the chaos around Erika. But a few online theorists, especially on Reddit, have claimed the parents don't approve of how quickly she stepped into the spotlight. It's unverified, of course, but that kind of speculation only adds fuel to the fire. Because in a story already filled with blurred lines, silence starts to sound like a statement. Erika's caught in an impossible position. If she hides away, people call her weak. If she shows up, they call her calculated. She's being filmed, critiqued, and theorized about 24/7. Every facial expression dissected for hidden meaning. She once said in a speech, "If you're famous, everything you do is content." And that's exactly where she is right now, living a life where her grief, her faith, and her love story have become headlines worldwide. But somehow, she's staying calm through it all. And whether you think that's authenticity or acting, you can't deny she's mastered the moment. In her most recent appearance, Erika doubled down again, addressing the scrutiny head-on. "No one will ever understand what this year has felt like," she said. "Every smile, every handshake, every word has been picked apart, but I refuse to live my life through the lens of other people's expectations." That line hit hard, because it's the clearest sign yet that Erika's done playing defense. She's done explaining herself. And in a weird way, that silence, that refusal to confirm or deny, might just be her smartest move yet. Because the longer she keeps people guessing, the longer she stays in the headlines. This whole story, the hug, the rumors, the interviews, it's about more than gossip. It's about how we process grief in the age of virality. Erika Kirk's not just a widow. She's a symbol of loss, of leadership, and of how women in power get dissected under pressure. JD Vance is the mirror, the calm politician caught in the crossfire of optics and emotion. Together, whether by design or coincidence, they've created one of the most fascinating real-world dramas of the year. Because love or no love, Erika Kirk has done what few people could. She's taken public tragedy and turned it into public power. So yeah, Erika Kirk has finally responded to the JD Vance dating rumors. She didn't confess, she didn't deny, she reframed. And now, the question isn't whether she's dating anyone, it's whether she's playing a much bigger game. What do you think? Is this just a widow fighting for justice, or a calculated rebrand that's taken on a life of its own? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to stay updated on this story, hit subscribe, because this saga, it's far from over. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.